Every marketer I talk to right now is asking the same question about their AEO investment. Is this actually bringing us leads and sales, or are we just inflating a vanity metric? Today, I'm going to help you answer that. And fair warning, the answer depends on a question most teams haven't even bothered to ask yet. So before you hire a creator, mobilize a subject matter expert, or sign up for an expensive AEO platform, you should be able to answer this one sentence. What kind of buyer are we trying to win with this work, and at what point in the research process are we trying to show up? What I usually hear is some version of, we want to show up more in AI search results, which is sort of like saying we want more website traffic. Okay, but accomplishing what? At what stage? So the teams that skip this question end up running AEO programs that look great on a dashboard for about 6 months, but then somebody on the finance side asks a sharper question and the whole program starts to wobble. So every AEO program I've seen right now is doing some combination of two things. First, demand capture visibility, aka showing up when a buyer's asking a question and already knows about your brand or category. They're in a tool like ChatGPT asking things like, is your product worth it? Or is your tool versus competitor better? They're evaluating, so your job is to show up with credibility and specificity. Business outcome here is a shorter sales cycle and higher win rates on deals you're probably already in the running for. So it helps sales close. It doesn't really expand the funnel. Second then is demand creation visibility. So this is when you are trying to show up when a buyer is still researching the problem before they know any of the vendor names. This looks like queries like, why is my organic traffic dropping in 2026? Or how do I track brand mentions across LLMs? So the outcome here is new pipeline from buyers who otherwise would never have found you. So this is totally net new. Both matter, but aren't interchangeable. So the mistake I see is that teams invest in tactics that favor one, usually capture because it's faster and easier to measure, and then report the visibility lift as if it represents both parts of this equation. So a 40% lift in AI citation rate sounds amazing until you realize it might be coming from people who were already typing your company name into ChatGPT. So here's where this gets practical. Different stages of the buyer journey pull from different layers of the source signal stack, which I've talked about many times before. Early in the journey, when someone is problem aware but doesn't quite know any vendor names just yet, the LLM has no brand to anchor on, so it's pulling from independent voices, and that's very clear layer 4 territory. External creators, and that's often where demand creation lives. Later, when buyers are comparing options and asking technical questions, doing the tool comparison, the LLM now reaches for depth and specificity. That's where your internal subject matter experts and brand content do a lot of the heavy lifting. This is the demand capture piece. So your internal subject matter experts are structurally advantaged for capture because they live inside your product and your customer environments, right? They talk to them all day long. So external creators are structurally advantaged for creation because they sit further from brand control, and LLMs weigh that independence more heavily when there's no brand anchoring the answer. Makes sense, right? Further from brand control, higher trust. So here's the real talk. Marketing leaders are about to be asked to defend every AEO investment they've made. And did our AI visibility go up is not going to be a good enough answer in 2026. The CFO is going to ask something sharper, a question like, is this work bringing us new buyers or just helping us close ones who were probably already coming? You want to be the marketer who can say, here's which buyers we're winning, here's what we deployed to win them, and here's the segmented visibility data showing lift in the queries that map to the outcome, and here's what we would change if we wanted to shift the mix. That's a defensible budget conversation, whereas our citation went up 38%, kind of less so. Don't treat AEO like SEO 2.0, where you just publish, measure volume, and hope it compounds. Set the goal first, decide if you need creation or capture, then reverse engineer who you need to deploy.